Okay, was I not recording? Bloody hell. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So what I did basically was I folded this up. I might have to make two now. And I put my pattern on. Yep, I wasn't recording. I take my pattern weights and plop on there to hold it steady. This is a company called paperweights.co.uk, patternweights.co.uk. I don't use scissors because, well, I don't use pins because the pin can distort the pattern. I don't use scissors because lifting it up to cut can distort the pattern. So what I generally do is use my cutter. I am going to make two now. Use my cutter, might as well. And I just literally cut around. The pattern. This is, I have done this on the fold. You can see I folded up the material. This is fusible fleece, which I buy on this heat and bond fusible fleece that I buy on a big board of stuff because I use it so often. Yeah, you may not do that. You might buy it a metre at a time, and that's fine. But I use this very, very often, so you know I find it more cost effective to buy it in that way. And then I know I have always got some. I'm just readjusting my pattern here, but I seem to have gone a bit awry on that corner. There we are. So I take my paperweights off, put those away, and I'm looking at it now before I go to use it, and I want that to be more pronounced curve. Okay, yep, and the rest of it is fine. So there's two now that I cut out, and this is if you buy pattern weights from this company, you get a lovely tin box. These are little donuts, but you can get them in all kinds of patterns, you know, all kinds of things on the top. Those are my little donuts, and they go away for next time. Right, so that's how you start off with your template, which is uploaded on Crafty So and So's sites under files. Okay, so we're ready for the next bit. God blimey, gotta make sure I'm videoing this time. Right, now for the outer, the bit that's going to show, yeah, and unlike on everything else I've made, I'm actually going to make this the right way up, I hope. Right, I have cut two bits of fusible, so I am going to make two. So consequently, I have got my material doubled over. If you're just making the one, then obviously you need to open your material out and just cut the one. Now, normally speaking, I tend to use my stripology cutter and just cut the whole thing and then cut down the pieces, but I just want to make two. So this is the fold end, this is the salvage end. The salvage underneath is a bit wider than the salvage on top, so I'm giving myself room. Yeah, now, and I've got to think which way round does this go. Just a moment, I will take my, yep, you see how that fits, yeah, yep, so that's, at 12 and a half, that'd be the top. So I'm trying to make sure my material's the right way around this time, because over the last few times, I've made it with the birds on the side. So 12 and a half, and all I want is 11. But I'm cutting it bigger than 11 because as I said, I know my selvage underneath is wider, so I am actually cutting it in 11.5. So 12.5. We're supposed to be cutting 11 by 12.5. So first off, well, I've hidden my cutter. Right. So first off, and I know that that is a perfectly straight line because that's where I cut it under my Shapeology ruler the last time I cut something from it. So I know I've got a perpendicular cut there, so that's fine. So I can just use my 12.5 inch ruler, put it on, give myself plenty of room so I can chop it down in a minute. And I want it 12.5, and this ruler is a 12.5 inch ruler. So I'm cutting right my 12.5 line, and I'm cutting, I'm going back to front now, so mind yourself, my, oh that didn't cut. I'm not very good at cutting that way round, so I know I'll have nicks in that. Yep, there's a nick. Oh, not too bad. Oh, not too bad at all. Right, fold that up, and then with both pieces together, and I'm going to flip it over, because as I said to you, I knew that the selvage was wider on this side. I am then going to turn my ruler around, so I got my 1 here, and put it on 11 inches on the bottom line here. Yeah, keeping it all in line, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, so I know it's straight, and then cutting off my selvage. So now I got 2. I know we don't want to. We do not want to. I do, because I had to, my camera wasn't working when I cut this the first time, so I had to cut it a second time to show you, and you know, there we are. Now I've got to make 2. Doesn't matter, because I got several brands of makeup that I like. One is called Tarte, yeah, believe it or not. One is called Tarte, and I really like that. I've got a collection of theirs that I really like. And the other one, oh, it's an American lady now. What's her name? What's it called? Oh, I don't know. But if I waffle a bit, when I've been upstairs and looked at it, I can come back and edit what it's called. But anyway, so I can keep the 2 collections in 2 bags. Right. So now I can plop on my template, yeah? And I want to have 1/4 inch. So I'm just moving it around. So I got 1/4 inch, yeah, on my template, and then what I'm going to do, using my rotary cutter, is I am going to cut 1/4 inch or give myself 1/4 inch margin. Oh, come on now. This probably wants sharpening, but I am giving myself approximately 1/4 inch seam allowance. Just round that off and move it. Approximately, move it over a bit, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Oh, not so clever there, was it? Still move it a bit. Move it a little teeny bit. Right. So I have used that as a template and given myself 1/4 inch all the way round, and now my birds are the right way up, so that at some stage, not yet, it's going to be fused to that. And obviously I'm going to do exactly the same with the other piece I cut for Oops. For this one, yeah? Right, moving on. From this this bit of pink scrap, I am going to do the lining. I decided on pink this time. I'm still using the corresponding outside. I got a selvage right down at this bottom, so I'm moving it up a little bit, and I got a straight edge here, and exactly the same way I am cutting my 12.5 inch square. Okay, and then I'm moving it around and I'm turning my ruler one down here, and I only want it to be 11 inches, so I just pop in the 11 mark on the top line, which looking out. What's going on, Jack? Try that again a minute, because that didn't seem straight to me then. No, it's not. If I put the two corners on, yep, that was not straight. I don't know how I didn't cut that straight, but it flipping is now. Right, turn it around. 1 here, 11 on there, 90-degree angles on the top and the bottom, 11 on the edge. Oh, bits now, right? Cut off the excess, which literally is the selvage. Now, keep that bit. I want that desperately. The next size we want to make, there's a few things. I think there's 5 we're going to make out of this pink. So hopefully I got enough. It's 10.25 by 5.5. Always cut the biggest pieces first, because you can manipulate the little pieces. So what am I doing now? 10.25 by 5.5. So using my 12.5 inch square, I will put it this way, one in this corner. So 10.25. There's 10.25 on my top line. Then I'm moving it over to 5.5. So I'm bringing it all the way over now to 5.5, keeping my 10.25 here, 5.5 here, making sure that's perpendicular. Very, very nice. All straight and doodads. Whoops, move it back. Always check your measurements before you cut. Hold it firm, cut, peel it back, and cut. Okay, so there's that piece. That's another piece that we need. Then the next thing we need is 12 5/8 by 6.25. Oh, I want the biggest bit then. 12 5/8. Oh God, why Dad? Why'd you do this, love? Why'd you do it? Right, so 12 5/8. So 1 in this corner. Now 12. That what? 12.5 is 4/8, isn't it? But this has got to be 12 5/8. So look what I'm doing. I'm coming over an 1/8. Yeah, just coming over an 1/8. So I want the full width of the ruler and that extra 1/8. But I only want 6.25. So I'm actually turning my ruler slightly sideways, still lining up this extra 1/8, and now I can slide the ruler up to 6 and what was it? 6 1/4, 6 1/4, that's that line. Still giving myself this extra eighths, 6 1/4, 6 1/4. Okay, got it. Whoop, I pulled the material, release it, put it back. 6 1/4, extra eighth, extra eighth, 6 1/4. Yep, now I'm ready. Right, there's that piece. It's slightly bigger, and there's a reason for that, than the other piece. Right, next thing is I want 2 4 1/2 by 7 1/8. Oh, I want 2 of them. I want 2 of the buggers. Right, 7 1/8. Let me just measure this. Yeah, I can get out of that bit. Yeah, I can get out of that bit. Right, so 4 1/2. So I want 9. I want 9. So I'm just bringing it over. So I want, there's a 9, right? There's the 9. So the first thing I'm going to do is I know it's a bit odd, but I know I can cut up from that bit there. Right, so I can use that as my straight edge. Now, put my 9 on there, start off with. I haven't quite got 8. No, I've tidied it up, but I haven't quite got 8. Let's go a different way. Let's go this way. 4 1/2. What was I on about 9? What was I on about? Oh, 9 was a double 4 1/2. Oh, I have got it then. And what was the bottom line? Is 7 1/8. Well, have I got it? 7 1/8. Yeah. Right, okay, so I know I can cut 9. So I can turn this round now, and I can put, I can put, where am I? 1 in the corner. Put my 9 back on there, yeah? Which is twice. Oh, it's not a very good cut. I'm just going to cut that, flipping straight, right? So there's my 9. I'm going to cut up from here on this side of the ruler, yeah? And then I'm going to peel this back. I've got my 9, so what I want is 7 1/8. So put this ruler on, take all that out of the way. 7 1/8, 7 1/8, 7 1/8, and on my straight, and my bloody hell. What's wrong with my cutting? I want that longer. Oh, it'll do. Don't freak it, Jack. No, it won't do. I thought I'd cut that at 9. There's 9 there, it's 9 there. It's not 9 there. Never mind. Alright, so I got 9. 7 1/8. I like the budget. Right, pretend it is. Because I know what to do with it. 7 1/8. Keep it square. And cut it down. Okay, and then because the actual measurement is 4 1/2, put my 4 1/2 here, 1 1 there, 4 1/2 here, 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 4 1/2 Right, I can even out the difference and cut that in half. Right, so now I got 7 1/8 by 4.5 twice, which is what I wanted. Yeah, so now I got all my pieces that I need to cut, and I think there was another tiddly little bit I wanted to cut. I did want to cut, oh I can't remember now, I did want to cut a little piece of something for a bit of embellishment on the outside, but we'll come back to that. Anyway, we've got all our bits now ready to carry on, and the first thing I need to do is I'm going to go to the iron and I'm going to centralise this on my original template, and I'm going to fuse that down and then come back. I don't know what happened there, and I don't know whether you saw what I did or not, but I cut 2.5 by 3, folded it in half into the middle, yeah, fold it over, put a clip on there, oh, do it twice because we need 2/8 of an inch from either edge, top stitch, elongate your stitch till 3 for top stitching, and 2 rows of stitching 1/8 of an inch from the edge for that, so that it matches, you know, the other things that I've been making. Although I'm doing a pink lining, I want the outside to match. And one more piece of thing I'm going to do, and I'll come back to you. Right, so I've just got out my ribbon stash somewhere. Merry Christmas. Hang on. Ah, here we go. I knew it. Somewhere I would have something. I want to do a little embellishment. Now, this ribbon says, handmade with love, little heart. I only really want do I want that much? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I could use the whole thing. Do I want it? If I cut it there, and maybe love, yeah, that leaves that okay. I don't know why I would want to put with love to myself, but I like the little heart. Oh, you know? Well, I really don't know. Now, I'm going to fold that under. I just want that teeny bit folded under. I'm just going to do that with my fingernail a second, if I can get it right. Oh, I haven't got a lot of I haven't left myself. I will do that anyway, doesn't matter. And the other end, I am just folding it under for a second. Just, that's better. More to work with this end, right? Then I can take a bit of something else to pop it on. Yep. Which I can do a little 1/8 inch border around. Yep. Actually, I probably want a little bit bigger than that, but oh, it doesn't matter. Not for me anyway. You'd want it a little bit bigger than this. So the next thing I'm going to do is where is it? 505 spray. I'm always using it. 505 spray. I hold it in my little hand and do it away from my cutting board. Yep. Just giving that a little spray so that it will stick. I am going to sew it, but it will stick, which will allow me then to manipulate the edge. A minute. Yeah, because it should stick to itself. Just manipulate that edge. Come on, it's not hardly anything. Right, just turn under. I'm better off doing it at the machine actually. And turn under that edge. And then what I'm going to do, having got that all okay under the machine, I will just stitch, yeah, and then the whole thing I will literally just under the iron, I think is the best thing to do, is just turn down less than a quarter all the way around, so I got a finished edge, and I am going to stitch that. Have I ironed this on yet? No, I haven't. When I've ironed this on, say this is the front, I am going to just place it on there as a little gimmicky thing, yeah? I'll come back and I'll show you when I've done it.